Hello, I'm a walrus. With me today are 3 guests.
Hi, I'm Art de Roche, an Arsenal writer at The Athletic.
My name's Elliot Smith, and you can block me on Twitter at Yankee Gunner.
Hi there, I'm Andrew Mangan, and I run Arseblog.
So, what did you make of the season? Andrew, let's start with you.
In general, I've enjoyed this season for the most part. Obviously, the way it ended is disappointing because we had the promise of Champions League football, but it wasn't to be.
Yes, I would agree with that for the most part. I think,
but
okay.
I do like what this team could become. We've got European football again for next season, and fingers crossed, we can continue to improve and add to the squad in the summer and be better next time around.
Okay, Elliot, let's move over to you. What did you make of the season?
This was a season of streaks. It was down, it was up, it was down. And because of those streaks, I think we were really pulled from big lows to big highs and maybe back to a bit of a low at the end. But overall, I find myself allowing myself to feel encouraged. And that's not because there aren't questions that I have or disappointments that I have, but because I think when I look at what I would have expected from this season and hoped for from this season, both in terms of points totals and in terms of finishing position, I think we got there in the end. Now, I also saw a period where we played tremendous football, not just winning football, but football I enjoyed, which I'm not sure I've seen for a sustained period under Arteta before. So for me, that was really encouraging. The other 2 things I think we really needed to see from this season were the continued.
Does he know that these podcasts are only a minute long?
And we know that if we're going to get anywhere really special, it's going to be on the back of their immense talent. But the other thing we wanted to see.
Should I cut him off?
Are you crazy?
Let's go to commercial for this month's sponsor.
Tired of being invaded? Now you can end the irritating misery of invaders with Patrick Vieira's Invader Repellent, the Invader Repellent that really works. Here's proof. Wow, look at that invader saw. Get Patrick Vieira's Invader Repellent, the Invader Repellent that really works.
This podcast is supported by a Patreon community that produces our own fake commercials for products that don't exist rather than taking money from betting companies. If you are interested in joining, there's more information in the description below. Okay, back to the podcast.
And so, with that chapter closed, now this summer we add to the group, and Arteta goes into next season, not just with his team, but with his squad. And so he really will have a chance to show what he can do. And I think it's time to see that in full.
Thank you, Elliot. Art, what did you make of this season?
The season went fairly well. I think most people would have taken Europa League going into it as the kind of baseline requirement, but there definitely are kind of areas where Arsenal still need to improve. For instance, when they go behind in games, it would be nice if they could actually come back more than once in a season to win a game. But I think overall, definitely see, like with players such as Martin Odegaard, Takahiro Tomiyasu, the overall style that Arteta wants to play, and I think that's encouraging. But they definitely need to kind of step up again next season because they can't have the inconsistencies continue.
Okay, very quickly, who was your player of the season?
My player of the season is Takahiro Tomiyasu. I know there might be other candidates who stand out a bit more, but when he was fit, I really enjoyed watching him play. Call me crazy.
Hello, crazy. I'm Walrus.
But I really like a defender who knows how to defend. I find them far preferable to the ones, who don't, and who stand there and point at other people when they don't do the defending. So for me, Tomiyasu is the pick, and hopefully he can stay fit and be more available next season.
I could pick Bukayo Saka as player of the season, but that would be boring because everyone will. So I will pick Thomas Partey, a player who arrived with great fanfare and a big fee and big expectations, who may have underperformed those expectations at times early on, and in part because of injury issues. But that period where we played great football and where we won a lot of games this season was, I think, largely created by his move to be a lone central midfielder in the 4-3-3 and the absolutely imperious form that he hit during that time, and his ability to take control of the midfield.
I did say quickly, he just keeps going.
Wow.
Wow, we were.
I think this guy's crazy.
Unstoppable at times. But when we lost him at the end, we couldn't continue momentum. So I think he's a big, big part of that. He'll be my player of the season, and one that we're going to need, I think, next season to build on what we've done so far.
Art.
In terms of player of the season, it's a tough one. I think most people would say Bukayo Saka, but I think Martin Odegaard and Tomiyasu, the guys I mentioned before, within their rights for shouts as well.
Spot on.
But I think just because of the availability and consistency, it probably does have to be Saka.
Sorry, I got hungry. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for coming on.